Good morning, hockey fans. This is Steven Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. Today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. Interesting day yesterday. Joanna cut the hair. Very clean looking. I can find a part. I know I'm good for another few weeks. Went over to Wesley Chapel, Florida yesterday. Saw my mom after that. Saw my aunt and uncle. Had a late night dinner with the kids and hauled butt back to Orlando and managed to get last night's article done in about 15 minutes, and it showed. And now we're going into the weekend. Nice and sunny here this morning, 63 degrees in Orlando. Could be worse. There we go, Tommy. All right. Today's topic: the 5 signs of an undisciplined hockey team. There we go. We've all seen the signs of an unruly group of teenagers. Boys will be boys. But discipline and character generally go hand in hand with on-ice success. Some of the most talented teams often find themselves looking outside, on the outside looking in at the end of the day. A lot of talent, but they can't get the job done because something was missing. That's the thing about unrealized potential. There are always going to be a number of determining factors that lead to the end of season disappointment. Discipline has a way of creeping to the top of that list, and it goes hand in hand with immaturity. Today's show will go into the 5 most glaring signs of an undisciplined hockey team. And some of these are kind of funny, but we've all seen it. And when we go through this list, you'll recognize some of the stuff, and some is more serious than others. Some are fatal. Number 5, the kangaroo court is still in session. Seriously, why is this still a thing? When are the yahoos going to learn that such ridiculousness now crosses over into the hazing and abuse territories? Stop it already. It's not a court. It's a place for the old guys or the older players to have some kind of power and control over the younger ones. A lot of it is just plain stupid. You guys got to be smarter than that. Number 4, the captain's main responsibility is getting the beer. There's more to being a captain than leading the ridiculousness. We've all been there. Hockey parties are inevitable and part of the team's list of not so cool activities. But there's more to the game than good times and nonsense. A captain is supposed to be a leader, an example of behavior, an example of how to carry yourself between on the ice and off the ice, in the building and out of the building, at the billet house. But oftentimes, these are the kids that are the bad influences on the younger players. Number 3, screaming profanities at the coach, officials, and each other during the game. Grow up, boys. You're trying to sell tickets to families to come watch you play. And you guys can't get through 2 shifts without dropping 11 F-bombs. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Believe it or not, about half this country, probably half of Canada as well, is not interested in hearing your profanities come out of a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old, or in yesterday's case, 15-year-olds. It's embarrassing. Grow up. But we see coaches doing it too at almost every level. But nothing is more disturbing than hearing a Pee-wee player screaming profanities at the coach who also happens to be his dad. Embarrassing. Be better. Be smarter. You know, you can use words aside from profanity. Generally, the use of profanity comes in when you have nothing else in your brain to say. You just throw in the profane word, throw in the F-bomb in place of many other words. It shows a lack of intelligence. Number 2, the coach has to tell the team to lay off the marijuana vapes on game day. Oh, this is the thing. Vapes are an epidemic in the game of hockey, from Bantams to the USHL, to college hockey and beyond. Vaping is literally retarding our game. Add in the insanity of marijuana pods or vapes, whatever the hell they're called, and we've reached an entirely new level of stupidity. What are you boys thinking? It's hockey. You got to skate with everything for 45 seconds at a time, take a 90-second break and do it again. And you're going to put that crap in your lungs? You're going to reduce your ability to perform? For what? For what? It doesn't make any sense. How do you say on one hand you want to be a world-class athlete and put that stupidity into your body at the second hand? That's one I don't understand. Number 1, parents have to cover their children's ears while walking past the team's profanity-laced pregame outdoor warm-ups. We've all seen the kids outside at a tournament, at an event, outside kicking a soccer ball, doing some sprints, doing something to get ready to go out back into the locker room, change into the gear, and onto the ice. We've all seen that. And this happens. Tomas, Sonny, and I drove over to the Tampa area yesterday for the USA Hockey Southeastern District Tournament AAA Championship over at Wesley Chapel. On the way into the building, along with other scouts and parents and families, we happened to walk by Team Maryland's 18U team as they were doing their thing just outside the building. Not deep into the parking lot, literally right outside the building. One F-bomb after another can be heard by everyone trying to get into the building from that side or from that parking lot. Once I got my own kids into the building, I said, wait a second. They're inside. I walk back out to the boys. Fellas, do you realize what you're doing? Everybody can hear this profanity one after the other as they're walking by. The kids laughed. That kind of didn't take that well from me. So I asked them, hey, what team are you guys? And they ran away. They didn't want to tell me what team they were. Oh, about 10 seconds later, and I walked inside, I figured it out. Doesn't make any sense. And just by pure luck, I'm sitting up there at, it's called Slapshot, little bar out top, watching the game because there's no seats in that one side of the rink. And the coach of that team happens to walk up to us. We talked about the incident. He was embarrassed, clearly. But what's more embarrassing is that these kids just don't get it. They just don't get to be aware of their surroundings and where they are and what they're doing and who can see them and who can hear them. Hockey, we're putting on a show. When you go from the youth level to junior hockey, what happens in the community gets back to the team. You are reflecting your behavior as a player and how you act is generally going to have an impact on the team and all the players coming up behind you. Oh, I don't want to hang out with those guys because they're a bunch of yahoos. Well, I don't want to go to that game. I've seen those punks at McDonald's. So your behavior can directly reflect that whole program's future. And we've seen this time and time again. You guys got to be smart. I mean, think about this. You're an 18U team. You probably all want to play junior hockey at some point. And all these people are walking into the building. And you guys are going to stand out there or group up and let everybody hear how cool you are with a continuing barrage of F-bombs. What does that tell a coach? What does that tell other parents? What does that tell those small kids having to hear that garbage trying to get into the building? I know it told my kids, you guys lack maturity, that you lack discipline, that you lack situational awareness, and that is probably going to be banging on your future. There you go. Most of you guys are probably heading toward the USPHL or Tier 3 hockey and on with your lives. And you look back at that moment and wonder, wow, okay, that was pretty stupid. That's it. I should be hearing from the attorneys of Black Bear Sports this morning. I think Team Maryland is operated by Black Bear. They're probably embarrassed, as they should be. But this is not just a Black Bear problem or Team Maryland problem. This is a kid problem. And I say boys because until they figure out the transition to be from being a boy to being a man, maybe some of that crap will wear off. That's it for this morning. We hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day.